again, and happy Wine Therapy Wednesday. Today, we have a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. This is season 1, episode 2, and I have my special guest with me, Stephen Robinson. It's my boo. So, first of all, we'll start with the wine of today. So, the wine of today is called LVE, Legend Vineyard Exclusive. This is one of John Legend's wines that came from the Napa Valley that he has incorporated different wines with. So, and it tastes really good, by the way. I like it. It's a Cabernet, and it's really tasty. So, I hope y'all can grab a bottle. So, today we're going to talk about the importance of being selfless, right? So, selfless is when you are more concerned with the needs and wishes of others than your own. And of course, that's very hard. Trust me, I know. It starts at the age of 2. Everything's mine. It ain't about nobody else, right? Then you grow out of that. The terrible twos. And then you somehow revert back. You can revert back to being selfish by causes of things that happen in your life. Maybe trauma, maybe bad relationships, maybe some horrible things that happen to you from other people. So those are some of the things that tend to bring us back to being selfish. Or, we just don't have that giving spirit. And that's what we need to, focus more on. So I'm going to start by asking Steve, when was the first time you were ever selfless?
I mean, before I answer that, I know I don't drink wine, but I feel kind of... I got a Pepsi.
Yep, you do. He does not drink wine nor smoke. I'm the only one that drink wine. All right.
Well, what was your question?
All right, so my question was, when was the first time you ever felt selfless?
Selfless?
Mm-hmm.
The first time I was selfless. Yeah, I can't even recall the first time. I think I can recall, I guess, a time where I understood what selflessness was versus the actual act of selflessness. And that was actually with my mom. My mom was one of those people, as you know, strong-willed, go do it, go get it done. And just watching her, you know what I mean, just kind of, I watched her as I grew, and she's one of the most selfless people ever. I mean, always putting others ahead of herself, always giving, always there for people, no matter how bad they talk about her. No matter what they do behind her back, she's always there. And I've always looked at her as a selfless person. Myself, it's really hard to pinpoint the first actual time that I actually was selfless. You know what I mean? It's kind of, what about you?
Honestly, I think I've been selfless all my life. It started when I was a little kid. And I'm just a giver at heart. If you know me, you know I give anything, knowing I may need it, knowing that sometimes I even want to say no, but then I put myself in their shoes and I'm like, they really may need it more than me. If that was me, I would want this. So I've been selfless for a long time. Even selfless with my friends, with my family, giving them the things that they need or, they wish for, and just, I can get my stuff later. Let me help them out. Let me, do for them.
Why are you selfless? Because I feel like...
I think God just made me that way.
Is it not a gift and a curse?
To me, it is a gift and a curse. Now, you can definitely be used by being selfless. I've been used many times, and that's what I was going to bring up. Mm-hmm. I've been used a couple of times with being selfless. It has its pros and its cons to it, by friends, other people in my life, even in relationships, some that I've been in, I was definitely used in certain ways. And so with that being said, those experiences has, in some way had me revert back to being selfish. So I'm with Steve. Everybody know that. And we've been together for quite some time.
What's quite some time?
3 years. We've been together for 3 years. And he says I'm very selfish at times. Very selfish.
Right? I say that?
Yeah. Very
Do you
selfish.
think you're selfless in our relationship? Like 100%? I'm
not 100%. I'm working
Okay.
on it because of my past experiences, but it's also can be a hindrance.
Your past experiences as far as relationships?
Yeah. The only time I feel like I'm super selfless is when it's a holiday or his birthday coming up, and I just go over and beyond.
Which I just
like,
had a
blah
birthday.
blah blah. I got this to do, this to do. I ain't gonna worry about nothing. Blah blah blah. And it's just like, okay, what about the rest of the year? That's when it go wrong. You know, that's when it's like you only, you know, you hear those conversations where you only do this during certain occasions, certain events, and it's like not consistently. So I have to hear that many a times, but it's like I hear that and it's like, but am I changing it? Right? So I'm working on changing to being more selfless in my relationship. I can do it with everybody else, right? But it's like I'm triggered in a relationship to where I don't want to be selfless because of what has happened. You know, the unknown, or maybe Steve gonna do this, or maybe that's gonna happen. But you can't live life like that in the unknown. You actually got to actually address the triggers, address the trauma that you've dealt with that has made you the way you are today. And I think that I haven't done a good job of that. Yeah, you can say all day, you know, this is what happened in my past and this is why I'm like this now. But are you going to remain like that? Are you going to dwell on what happened? Or are you going to find solutions to be better and actually move away from that? And so I have to remain telling myself that every day, like, okay, Steve is very selfless with me. He put all his hard work into this wine therapy and producing it. I mean, has done everything, right? Even went over and beyond doing his own thing and just helping me with mine first. He wants to build me up. Truly appreciate that, right? But it's hard for somebody to be selfless when they're with somebody who's a little bit selfish. So that's a pull in a relationship with two different types of selfish and selflessness, right? So Steve, give me your idea of a time that I was selfless.
Selfless?
I can be selfless. I don't know what he's talking
about. I mean, you have a lot of times where you're selfless. I mean, just in general, coming down and just what you do every day. You know what I mean? It's I say a lot of it is for you, but you find time to make it for me. So, like making lunch and cooking dinner and things like that. I think that is one of the biggest selfless acts that a person can do, you know, on an everyday basis. So I'm very appreciative of that as well.
Thank you.
And
first time hearing this.
That's a lie. I always build you up, you know, and tell you what. I try my best. Now, I will say this. One of the hardest parts about being selfless is words of affirmation for others. I think that is a big part of not being selfish, because it's extremely hard to tell a person all the good things that they do, you know, and, you know, not, you know, and really just consider pretty much not even the good things, but considering what you're saying, like always, you know, always watching what you're saying. And I mean, that's a part of being a team, you know what I mean? And like, that's one of my hard parts, is really just always constantly reminding you how important you are to me. And I think that's a part of being selfless, you know what I mean? And I got all the other stuff down packed.
However, you know, that part lacks, and I feel like the reason that lacks is because he can't trump the negative stuff that happened. So that's on his mind.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Do you feel like a selfish part of someone can trump or overshadow the selfless part? So if I do 1,000,000 selfless acts, you know, everything considerate of you, every movement, every thought, every breath, and the one time I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to consider her, and I'm going to do it for myself. Do you feel like that can overshadow everything that I've done? Will you not, if it hurts you in that way? Did I say that right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's how I feel a lot of times. I what you mean by the whole Trump thing is just like, if you do 100 things for me, nice, selfless, I'm like, oh, this is dope. And then the one thing I'm asking you to do, like, I'm like, hey, can you do this for me? And you tell me no. I'm like, I don't even care about the other stuff. Like, cause I didn't even ask you for that. You know what I mean? So it's really hard for me to remember the good times when the things that I asked for or the things that, you know, I may want or need at that moment is not being done because of that person's selfishness or choice not to do so. And it's not even just with you, but with anyone.
I disagree. Because but I'm a person, people, to find the good in everybody. You can do 1,000 things wrong. I'm like, well, maybe that's why I just try to come up with the excuse of why they did it, or like maybe they had a bad day, or maybe they didn't hear me, or maybe it's a reason that they, felt like that, or they didn't, or they said no. So I'm a person that I can still find the good, still accept the good, but that's so true. I feel like I can. So
I think that only has to do with, I think it doesn't pertain to your relationship though. Like, I think if I let you down, I think that's a big bummer.
But I ain't gonna forget the good stuff. That's the thing.
I ain't gonna forget when I say forget the good stuff, it's like at that moment, none of that matters. Because I'm hurt. I'm upset. You were selfless yesterday, but today you're being selfish. I'm not gonna talk about yesterday. I'm gonna talk about right now. You know what I mean? But I think that with you, it applies with other people versus people that you feel strongly of, whether it's a close friend or your relationship, your family member, sister, whoever. I think when those people hurt you in a way of being selfish, those sting a little bit harder than anything else. That's just my opinion. Do you agree with that?
I agree. Yeah, I do. Well, I'm working on myself, people. I go to therapy, by the way. So I work on myself all the time. And I give therapy. So sometimes when I'm teaching therapy, like I'm actually learning too, like, okay, yeah, Mercy, they kind of hit home right there. You're talking to the kids, or you're talking to this client, that client, but that really hit home. So I'm definitely working on myself. I'm a selfless person in general, but when it comes to close relationships, it's not where it needs to be. And that's kind of backwards, I'm sure. Anybody, I think most people would say that's backwards. Like, why not be more selfless for the people that's closer to you, in your circle, that love you dearly, whatever, than strangers or associates or just people, friends that you don't even see every day. And I've always been like that. Always.
Why? I mean, because I don't find, first of all, I don't think nothing is wrong, when it comes to that. I just think it's a little bit different. But, I feel like you have like this biggest, hospitality heart.
From Mississippi, by the way.
From you gotta tell them where. From where in Mississippi? Prentice, Mississippi. Yeah. Population?
I don't know.
No, I'm just playing, y'all. I'm sorry. I know y'all go be under the comments going in on me. But no, like I really think that, that's what makes you a beautiful person too. Like I watch you, and what you do for people, and I think that, where did it come from? I always wanted to ask you. I know I'm the guest on the show, but I always wanted to ask you, like, where did it come from? Like, when did you wake up and? Because you say you were born that way. But it had to be a first time. It had to be a time where you like, man, I want to make sure everybody good. Is that a Mississippi thing?
No. Everybody from Mississippi not like that. But my family is like that. True. My family's like, my mom was like that.
My family, yeah.
My mom was like that. She would, if I had a couple of parties, like kickbacks, or maybe like when I had my own house in Prentice for a while. And we would have little parties, get together, this and that, and she would go over and beyond and cook all this stuff, and I didn't necessarily do none of that, but she wanted to make sure everybody was fine. When I had friends that would stay with me here and there, she would make sure to take care of them. Even when it came to just the simple stuff as me and my brother growing up, Christmas, my sister Christmas, Valentine's Day, like she would make sure we had what we needed or what she wanted us to have, and she'll go without. So she's been like that. So that's where I got that from. You know, my entire family is that way though. Honestly, you know, we just look out for people. That's just who we are. So yeah, I just feel like it started from family. Honestly, especially my mama, because that's who you see your parents first anyway. So it definitely started from the things she would do with my friends, her friends. It's, you know, different stuff. Like that's just who she was. So I definitely captured her energy when it came to being like that, to being hospitable, selfless. That's just who she was. Period. You know, that was just my mom.
That's who you are.
That's who I am. That's my mama child. Even my dad is really, really, you know, he can be selfless for real. So I guess I got two parents that just had it in their spirit, and I was produced that way.
That's dope.
For sure. And that is, the Mississippi people are very hospitable.
I can say that, you know what I mean? Your family always.
They look out.
Showed me love, just in general. Like, those my people, man. For real.
Yeah. Even like when you go to Granny house, like my grandma on my dad's side still living. And when they cook, they want to get everybody a plate. You don't leave without a plate. Don't do this. Like, they probably won't eat and let you eat because there's like, you know, make sure you got some, make sure you get your stomach right, whatever. So it's just been like that. It's been like that. I always like been dedicated and committed, you know, to what other people needed, and like put myself on the back burner. That ain't always good though. That's when we talk about the pros and the cons, because you can miss important steps in your life. That's what I feel. Because you're looking out. For example, I feel like, okay, the needs and wishes of others, right? So somebody may have something going on this week, next weekend, birthday, wedding, whatever. Who gonna be there? Me. And it's like I have not rested. I ain't done nothing for myself. I'm making sure I'm there for everybody.
How are you gonna be there? How?
What you mean?
How are you gonna be at each event?
I make sure to find a way. I would be tired, whatever. But I'm like, I need to drive here. I need to fly there. I need to be here for this, there for that.
And so I guess I'm probably actually a perfect guest for this topic, because I at a long time, I don't remember, like I said, I don't remember my first time being selfless, but I remember a large part of my life where I was completely selfless and I was not taking care of the needs of myself. You know what I mean? I think you did an episode about self-love and on Therapeutic Tuesday, I believe. But I was so worried about everybody else, and what hit me, and I've told you this, when I had foot surgery, and I was down, and all the people that I've, you know, paid rent for, or gave money to, or gave rides to, or been there, done that for, you know, I didn't receive a call. You know, so how do you balance that to where, you know, because at that point I learned, like, you know what, I'm not, we supposed to be used because we're vessels. Yeah. Would you agree?
I agree.
But I just think we're not supposed to be misused. So we're supposed to be used in whatever way, because, you know, you'll never want to change your heart because you're a selfless person. You always want to be there for people, but it comes a time where some people will take advantage of it, you know, and they don't reciprocate the same love. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever had a time where you was like, yo, like, I'm not getting that same respect and love? And it's not even an equal value. And I think that's where people get kind of twisted, even in relationships. Like, I don't look, even in our relationship, I'll speak on ours, like, I don't look for you to give me, you know, some high heels in return if I bought you some high heels. You know what I mean? I'm looking for that appreciation or that love and respect in return that equals of that value. You know, it may not be the same, it may not look the same, but I value it just as much as you value this. And so those people that didn't call me when I was down, you know what I mean? That hurt. And I was just like, yo, I'm not worried about a lot of people. I'm not gonna go out my way to knock on your door, you know, when I'm in town, when I go back home. Obviously, I'm from St. Louis, from St. Louis, Missouri.
Weak.
Yeah, I know Nellyville. Can you hit it? Can you hit that?
No, keep going.
But I don't call everybody when I go back home. I don't knock on everybody's door.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows I'm home. Come knock on my door, you know, or come call me, or ask me to come, you know, to dinner with you, you know. And it's only a few people that calls me or look out for me when I come home. And I respect them people and I call those people. But, you know, I'm curious, you know, for a person like yourself who is so selfless, right? Especially with her friends, especially with her family members, right? And even people you don't know. Like, what do you do? Because I know, I don't even want to ask you when it happened or has somebody ever not returned the love in return. I know it's happened.
Yeah.
You know, but like, how do you feel and what makes you get up and still want to do that? Because I'm done. I'm done. You know, I'm not gonna stop loving people, but I'm done. I'm done being misused, I should say.
What I learned is, or over time, is that I cut off somewhat of the selflessness when it comes to certain things with the individuals who have misused me. I never cut off to everybody, because everybody, that's just like punishing everybody, and I don't believe in that. And I don't look for nothing in return for the most part. I don't, but I don't agree with making everybody suffer for what somebody else did. I don't. It's just not who I am. You know, everybody's not like that, you know, but for those who have done it, it's done with for them. Like, I can help you in a whole nother way or be selfless in some way or another, but the way that you misuse me, you can't have that way no more. And I know who did what, who did this, who did that. I know this already, you know. So that's what I do.
So Doc.
Oh wow.
Cause that's tough.
That's just who I am. If you know me personally, that's just who I am. My friends, my close friends, they'll tell me, like, you need to stop letting people do this, and they tell me all the time. I'm just like, yeah, but you know, it's like, it's not a but for them. It's like, no.
What is the but? That's what I want to know.
But they may needed it.
No.
I put myself in their shoes. That might, you know, you just never know. You know, you know, God gonna bless me later on, and I say that's gonna be okay.
So
for real.
I do believe that God blesses you.
Yeah.
But I think we don't get brownie points, you know, for none of that. We don't go to heaven for none of that. You get blessed, because what it is when you're blessed, you're supposed to bless others, because the blessings are still on earth. We're supposed to cycle them. You know what I mean? But when it comes to being misused, you know, because you wouldn't, like I said, you wouldn't expect your close friends to misuse you, but they'll tell you, like, yo, don't do that with this person or
all
whatever.
the time, like, yeah.
But it's like, you don't feel like it don't hurt you.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna dwell on it. Now, I'm good at not dwelling on pain. It's just, I'm good at it. You know, it's just like, yeah, it hurt.
Oh yeah, you ain't sat down long enough. Because I
What you mean sat down?
When I sat down for my surgery.
Oh, you talking about like that? So I've been gone for a year. I can say I've been.
That ain't sitting down.
The point I'm making is
where?
I left Mississippi. I've been in Texas for a year. And I saw a lot of changes with friends and stuff. I saw a lot of changes when I come home, visit. I was hitting everybody. I ain't gonna say the other part because it's real thing. I don't know how people take that. But I was just hitting everybody up. Like, hey, you at home, blah, blah, blah. Let's hang out, blah, blah, blah. And I wasn't getting good responses from some of them. I didn't know what that was about.
Back at home? Like, people wasn't answering your...
Or they didn't want to hang, or they were too busy. And I'm just like, dang, I thought we was cool. Like, I lived in Mississippi. We was kicking it all the time. And now that I moved to Texas, you beefing. Or, you know, you got to do this and you do that. Now I got my certain few. I got, like, at least, I can count on my hand 5 people that's going to see me every time I come home.
Name. No, I'm just playing.
Don't do that. But 5 people for sure. They going to come see me every time I come home.
Well, see, and that's
love.
Okay.
And so I learned to only call them.
Okay.
I had to learn it, though.
Okay, Doc.
Because if I keep calling the people that's not, then all I'm going to do is keep hurting myself. So I had to learn, like, you know what? Just call them that's gonna come see you. No, that's guaranteed to come see you.
So why aren't, this is just, again, I'm the guest. I'm the guest.
You
so
still act like you therapist.
I ain't no therapist. I ain't no therapist at all. How does that make you feel?
That's what I do all the time.
That's your go-to question. How does that make you feel?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't no therapist, but I got a question. The 5.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you just extend your selflessness to those 5 and not the entirety of your Facebook friends and family and whoever, like those 5, right? And because I have 5. I didn't, like, you remember T-Mobile?
Yeah, 5. Yeah, somebody talking about that the other day.
The top 5, or what was your
that,
favorite
that was like
5?
T.D. Jackson talking about that.
Yeah.
I don't listen to him.
Yeah, I got 5.
No, it was Michael Todd. I listened to him
Michael
2
Todd.
days ago, and he was talking about the T-Mobile top 5. He sure was.
No, he's great. But 5, I got 5 too. I think that we all should probably have those 5, go to, because you can count them on your hand, right? And if I can count you on my hand, I can count on you. And that's how I always look. That's how I looked at it since my surgery. I'm not trying to put you. You're the doctor. I don't want you to do nothing you don't want to do. If you want to keep helping, whatever, cool. I think selflessness is highly important, but I think everybody also needs to go through a stage of selfishness. I really do. And the reason I say that is because you can't help everybody if you don't know everything or if you don't have what they need and things like that. So that stage of selfishness, you need to be growing and getting all the information that you can so that you can be selfish or selfless in the next stage. You know what I mean? So I can start helping people pull up. And those 5 were with me at each stage.
Yeah.
And everybody else, they was with me at my selfless stage, but not my selfish stage when I was learning, when I was growing, when I was actually becoming a doctor, right? When I was going to get my master's. I'm talking about you. You know what I mean? And when I was doing my wine therapy or doing whatever, like everybody can't go where you going. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel. And this nothing against nobody, but I couldn't take everybody with me to Houston. You know what I'm saying? But I chose my 5. And matter of fact, my 5, I didn't even choose my 5. My 5 chose me. They stood out. They told me they had my back, and they proved that, and they never misused me. I just think selflessness, being selfless, it's a very dangerous thing. It can be.
Yeah, it can be.
But
I'm working on.
Name your 5.
I ain't naming them. I wouldn't do that, but I know who they are, and they know who they are.
That's love.
Yeah.
That's love.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? That's love. Real talk. That's love. And I never replace my 5 because they proven themselves in every situation. They was with me when I wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to be misused, Doc.
I feel you. And that's why it's limits to being selfless with certain people, I guess, because if they misuse you, you don't want to continue to give, and then you're just being misused, and your giving is what I look at is starting to be in vain. Then, so it's a lot of work in progress. But I guess my next question is, what's so important about being selfless in a relationship?
That you cannot be selfish in a relationship. Now, you can have me time, but a relationship is all about the other person.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean you don't put you're supposed to put your feelings first, right? I'm supposed to say, you know what, I can't deal with these things. I need to move on. Or, hey, I need you to do this for me, right? You need to communicate. But it's very, very important to be selfless in a relationship. You know, and I can't be, you know, I think I forget it a lot. You know, I think I forget it a lot, mainly because sometimes you just want that, you want to move how you want to move. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think if I start making decisions, you know, on, you know.
Yeah, my dog showing that. She wants some attention.
If I forgot what I was saying, but if I don't know, I just think that if it's very important, you know what I mean? It's very important. And I think I forget it sometimes just in general because like you can't move without the other person. I can't make a decision without consulting you. I can't build something without, you know, a hammer and nails, and you got those nails. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I gotta make sure whatever we do, you're comfortable with, and vice versa. You know, or else you gonna lose the other person.
Yeah, agreed. And I think my only time being selfish is when I'm used to something. I'm just used to something one way in my life, like because I've been by myself for longer than I have been in a relationship. So, for instance, when I wash my hands, I'm about to wash my hands, let the water run.
Oh God.
He hated it. But I'm like, but I like.
You gotta tell
like
it right.
I like running.
You gotta
water.
tell the story right if you gonna tell that.
Mind y'all, he is a storyteller, not me. He can tell a story and it'd be so dramatic. You would think it's me, but it's not.
It's not dramatic. What she does is she'll go into a bathroom, turn the water on, and it's not running the water so it can get hot. It's just running the water. And she'll leave, go make a sandwich, go build a tree house, go put gas in her car, and then come back and turn the water off. So,
dramatic.
That's not dramatic. That's the truth.
Very dramatic.
I watched you build that tree house. I watched you.
It's just many things.
Do you you think that's selfish? I don't know
because I like it my way, so keep it my way.
I got you.
Don't do it your way. Do it my way.
Why
and I have a lot of problem with that. You know, that's where my selfishness come in, not selfless. You know, you're supposed to take account of what the other person wants, what they desire, and I don't do really a good job of that in a relationship. Like, I think it's starting to make sense now. Associates, friends, family, like I see them, they come and go. I don't have to spend 24 hours with them. It's different when you're in a relationship and it's like, why I gotta stop that? Why do I have to change this? I don't like that, you know.
Why do you let the water run?
I don't know. I've been doing it all my life. You know, you can just say, you've been doing something so long, it's like, it's just a habit. I don't even have a reason for it. I just been doing it forever, you know. Just something simple as that, though. I wish I could think of more right now, but I guess I just can't. Like, I'm a neat freak. I clean up 24/7. If I see anything on the floor, it's just going to be a problem. He wants to get it up later, got to get it up now.
No, get it
so
later.
I'm selfish in what I want when it comes to that. So I guess that makes sense. So it's just a work in progress. I'm still a new person to relationships because I haven't been in many. So I'm learning a whole lot. And it's a good thing. It's just, even with the ups and downs when it comes to being selfless, the importance of it is, you know, caring about being more concerned with the needs and wishes of other people. But it's a difference when you're being misused, right? That's when it's like, okay, you need to kind of step back some, right? Or, you know, doing it with the right people, you know, finding limits. You know, you can't be selfless in every situation. Some situations you really got to be like, no, I ain't doing that, right? So, for example, the needs. Example, a young girl, you know, you dated somebody and he wants to do this and do that, and you're not at that point where you want to. Then you can be selfish about it, like, nah, we ain't doing that. You know, this my body, this my mind, whatever. You know, different stuff. So you have to be selfish in some ways. You can't be selfless in everything. You know, and that's just real. So, I you know, I'm a work in progress, people, just like y'all. This is the point of the wine theory, for us to discuss different things, to get perceptions and perspectives from different people, and to take it into account to help you with your daily life. Like, dang, I could probably do that better. I didn't notice I was like that. I didn't notice maybe that was why I did this and did that. So, speaking about the selfless, thing was very good. Steve, we have conversations all the time, and he even gets on me about being so given to so much, and he sees the negative when I don't. He does, but I'm just, find the good in them. Can't always be, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna continue to know my limits, learn from my experiences, and actually work on me being more selfless in my relationship, because that's what's gonna count. We got a long way to go, long life to live, so just gotta work on that, right? All right. So I actually appreciated Steve on the show today. This is Steven Robinson.
It was fun. I didn't think it was gonna be this
don't
fun.
drink wine, and he on wine therapy. But anyway,
I don't. Is wine good?
It is.
I've had it before. I'm just talking.
Good. But yeah, so I hope y'all enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for sure.
It was real fun.
It was really fun, and I just hope that we can have more conversations like this. That you can see we're real comfortable. That's how I like to talk. That's how I talk. Even in my therapy session, like I get super comfortable, and I'm like, get comfortable, because you'll talk more and more freely when you're comfortable. Even for instance, a kid in their home, a client in their home, they're more comfortable in their familiar spaces than they are in an uptight room where it's unfamiliar. It's like kind of stuffy or whatever. So that's why I allow everybody to get comfortable and let's have a conversation. So
Right.
we do that.
Right.
So I hope y'all enjoyed it. This topic was about being selfless, the importance of it, and knowing your limits. And don't forget to check out my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to it. The link is in my bio, as well as it'll be in this video. Please tell all your friends and family. Make sure to share this. It's just the start of something great and new. And it's just something God has put on our heart to share with the world. And just actually, open the minds of so many. So we thank y'all. We love y'all. Hope y'all have a good night, family. And I'll see y'all next Wine Therapy Wednesday. Hey family, it's Dr. Johnson and happy Wine Therapy Wednesday. We're kicking off season 1 of Wine Therapy, and I want you to catch up on every episode by subscribing to my YouTube channel, which is below, as well as in my bio. Let's talk about it.